everyone, so today's video is going to be a makeup tutorial on the look that I am wearing right now. I created this look with the MannyMUA and MakeupGeek palette. I went for kind of a grungy look. It's quite dark, but I kept the under eye quite nude just to open up my eye, and I paid it with a nice dark lip for a change, as I expect you was all sick of seeing me with nude lips. If you can see the redness here on my chest, it is because I burnt today in the sun because it was boiling hot outside. So I do apologise that all of this is a different colour to this because this is on fire. So please disregard that and pretend like you can't even notice it because I am quite sore. So yeah, if you are interested in seeing how I got this look, then just stay tuned. Okay, so to start off then, I'm going to prime my eyes, and I'm going to take Benefit's Stay Don't Stray eye primer to do this. And I'm just dabbing this all over my eyelid and blending it out with my fingers. This will create a nice base for our eyeshadows to stick to, making sure that our colour lasts all day. And then going into the palette, I'm going to be taking the first shade, which is Beaches and Cream. And I'm just taking this on a big fluffy fat brush and I'm just dusting this all over that primer just to set it down so that the eyeshadows will glide on smoothly. And now I'm just taking some sellotape and placing that on the eyes so we can get a nice crisp finish. And taking the palette, I'm taking the shade Frappe, and on a smaller, more tapered blending brush, I'm just popping that into the outer corner and crease of my eye. I'm blending this over towards the inner corner with a bit more of a lighter hand though, because I didn't want it to be too intense towards the inner corner. I'm going back and forth to the palette a few times doing this to build up the colour intensity that I wanted. And then I'm going to be taking my big fluffy blending brush and I'm just going to be diffusing that colour out up onto my brow bone just so that it's nice and all blended and seamless. And then going back into the palette, I'm taking the shade Mars, which is a nice burgundy, pinky, reddy type colour, bit of a mixture. And I'm just taking that again on the same brush that we used to apply Frappe. And I'm just popping that to the outer corner of my eye. I am buffing this up into my crease and towards the inner corner. Not as much though, because I didn't want Frappe to show up. So I'm just going back and forth, building the colour intensity up until this is nice and bright and the colour that I want. But yeah, you can see what I'm doing. I'm just applying and blending, applying and blending. And then when I'm happy with the colour intensity of the shadow, I'm taking my fluffy blending brush again, and I'm just buffing that together, the two colours, just to make sure that they are nice and seamless and that there are no harsh lines anyway, that everything is nice and diffused out. Now after we've done this, we're going to be going back into the palette and we're going to be taking this lovely Duochrome shade, which is the star of the show and it really makes your eyes pop, and it is the shade Insomnia. And I'm just going to be taking this on my finger as I feel like it applies better that way. It's much like the foiled eyeshadows in the Duochrome. Well, it is a Duochrome, but they work better in my opinion when applied with the fingers. So you can see that I'm just applying this onto my eyelid as our main colour with my finger, building the intensity as I'm going along because I really wanted this to pop. And then going back into the palette, we're going to be taking the darker shade this time, and this is Aphrodite, however you want to pronounce it, but it's this nice dark burgundy sort of colour. And on the tapered blending brush once more, I'm just taking that into the outer corner to darken everything up, and then going back with my blending brush just to buff it all together to make sure that it all blends in nicely and that there are no harsh lines anyway, and all the colours melt into each other. So I'm just going back and forth a few times doing this just until I get it how I wanted. And then for my inner corner highlight, I'm taking the shade Luna, which is a really nice white goldy shimmery shade, and I'm just popping that on a small brush into the inner corners of my eyes. And then for eyeliner, I'm taking Makeup Academy's Liquid Eyeliner and just drawing a nice thin wing. It's a mouthful to get over there, is a thin wing. Using my sellotape as a guide, and I'm just continuing the thinness all the way across my eye. I didn't want nothing too thick. I felt like we had a lot going on with the eyeshadows and I didn't want the eyeliner to, take away from the eyeshadow. So just drawing a nice thin wing across my eyes. And then after that, we're going to be doing some tight lining today, and I'm just going in with NYX eye and eyebrow pencil in the shade Black, and just tightlining the upper lashes, not putting any eyeliner on the bottom today, just on the top. And then after we've tightlined, we're just going to be going in with some mascara, and today I'm taking the Covergirl Super Size Mascara. I've used this a few times and I absolutely love it. It literally makes my lashes lovely and thick and voluminous. And then after we've applied a coat or two to our lashes, I'm going to be taking the Socialize eyelashes in VIXEN, which I did try to film, guys, and then when I look back at my footage, I realised that I was out of frame for all of it. So that got cut, I'm afraid, but I just applied that with my Duo Eyelash Adhesive in black. And then I'm going to be taking the Boujoirs Happy Light Luminous Serum Primer, and I'm just applying that to my face with my fingertips and just rubbing it all in so that it's all melted into my skin, ready for our foundation application. And then for foundation, I'm going to be taking the NARS All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation, and I'm in the shade Santa Fe. And again, using my fingers to just dot that around my face before going in with my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush, just to buff it all out and make sure that it's all nice and seamless and blended into my skin. Like I've said before, I prefer either a dense brush to do this or a makeup sponge like the Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge or the Beauty Blender, as I feel this gives the best outcome, it gives the best results. So yeah, just buffing all that in, making sure it's all buffed in nicely. And then after you've finished blending out your foundation, it's time for a bit of contouring. And today I'm going to be taking the LA Girl Pro Conceal in the shades Natural and Almond. This is my first time contouring with the almond shade, so I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out. I was happy with the overall result, but anyway, I'm taking Natural and I'm just applying that in a triangular shape underneath my eyes to conceal my dark circles. Then I'm just popping a little bit onto my Cupid's bow, just around my nose to conceal any redness, onto my chin, a little bit on the top of my forehead, well, the middle of my forehead, and then drawing a line down my nose. And then I'm going in with the almond shade and I'm just contouring out the hollows of my cheeks, dotting a little bit onto my forehead, down the sides of my nose, and then onto my jawline. Now, I'm not going to lie, I'm not an expert at contouring. I don't do it all that often, but thought I haven't showed it in a video yet, so I thought I would give it a go on camera for you. So now I'm just taking my Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge and starting to blend all that out. Starting with the highlighting shades first, then blending all them out as they are obviously the lightest shade. And then I'm going to be going on to blend out the contour. Now, when you are blending out your contour, it is always best to blend in an upwards motion. And after everything is blended out nicely, it is time to set it all in place. Now I'm using the Nye Translucent Setting Powder, colourless powder, to set my highlighted areas today. But of course you can do this with any translucent powder or setting powder, or even a contour setting powder, but I'm using this one today, and I'm also using my Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge to do this. I'm just taking some powder onto the sponge and setting it into place, so I'm doing a bit of baking. And then while that is setting down, I'm going to be setting the contour that we just applied, and I'm going to be taking the Makeup Revolution blush palette in All About Bronze, and I'm just taking the warmy brownie shade, which I really shouldn't have. I should have took a bit more of a taupey greyish undertone, but I chose for this one, and it did work out quite nice in the end. After I blended it all out, it looked quite nice. So I'm just using a fluffy round brush to set that on top of the Almond Pro Conceal that we just applied. And then because it was a little bit too brown for me, I buffed it over whilst I was removing the translucent powder, and it kind of blended together, and I was really happy with the outcome. And then after you have done all of this, it is time to set the rest of your face. I opted for a little bit more coverage today, so I went with the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Powder in the shade Vanilla Rose, and using my fluffy face brush, just applied that to the rest of my face. Dabbing it on, not so much as to rub, because I don't want to disturb the contour, so I'm just dabbing that over the rest of my face to set the rest of my foundation down to make sure it doesn't move. And then for blush, I'm taking the Makeup Revolution Ultra Blush Palette in Blush Queen, I believe. either Blush Queen or Blush Goddess, but I will double check and link it down below for you. And then after we've done this, I'm just going to be going back into the palette to finish off our eyes, and I'm taking the shade Frappe, which is the one that we used earlier, and just taking that on a fluffy brush and just buffing that in to our lower lash line to smoke it out a bit, but keeping it quite neutral, as I didn't want the under eyes to be too dark. I wanted my eyes to be quite bright looking. And then using the mascara we used earlier, which was the Covergirl, just popping that onto our lower lash line to finish the eyes off. So for highlight then, I'm taking the Makeup Revolution Radiance palette, and I'm just taking the middle shade, which is between a pink and a gold kind of shimmer. And I'm just using a big fluffy fan brush as always to apply this, just popping it onto my cheekbones, down the bridge of my nose and the tip, and onto my cupid's bow to create a nice glow. And then for lips today, I thought I would go for a bit of more of a darker lip than a nude lip, as I'm sure you're all pretty sick of nude lips. So then I'm going to be taking Rimmel Lasting Finish Lip Liner in the shade Cappuccino, and just using this to line my lips ready for when we go in with some colour. Which for today I'm going to be taking the Gerard Cosmetics Hydra Matte Liquid Lipstick in the shade Iced Mocha, however you want to pronounce it. That's the colour that I'm taking, and I'm just applying this all over my lips. Gerard Cosmetics Hydra Matte Liquid Lipsticks are one of my favourite liquid lipsticks that I've ever used. The formula is fantastic. They literally glide on like a dream. They're so easy to apply. They're just an all-round really great product, and I was really happy with the colour that I chose for this look. And that's the finished look, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the video. All products mentioned will be listed in the description box below. If you did enjoy the video, please give me a big thumbs up, as it really helps me out a lot. And like always, if you're not already, then please click the subscribe button down below to come and join me. I upload every Wednesday and every Sunday. So yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say. Hope you're having a great week wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Nope. And this is the finished. No, I don't want to do that. Who say to your mama to and your daddy? Oh, that looks so sore. And that's it for today's video, guys.